Hey everybody, it's me, Derek Jones, coming to you from McMinnville, Oregon. Today I want to talk to you about composting, and I'm hoping on this thread we can all share composting technique, pictures of what we got going for compost, maybe help people who aren't composting to learn how to compost. Personally, I've been a big composter my whole life, not my whole life, but since I was in my early 20s. And back in Spokane, when I lived there, I had two different worm bins. We had three big compost piles, one gigantic one. I used to collect materials from my neighbors to put in the compost. Here in McMinnville, it's a little tougher growing, especially because our yard is small and shady. So I've been challenged with growing a garden here, and I've been lazy about composting. But since this group is getting going, I'm going to get my composting gear back in and see what we can come up with. I want to show you what I got going on today. Uh, this is the middle of winter. The yard looks a little rough, but I've also been neglecting a lot of things. So it looks trashy back here, but I'm hoping this can be an example to other people of how to take something that's a bit of a mess and hopefully turn it into something beautiful. Composting is just one easy way you can contribute to soil fertility. With the massive amount of Roundup that people spray around here, I've never used that in our yard. We've never used anything like that at all. I'm I'm super opposed to just spraying any kind of chemicals for a quick fix to do things. So as a result, I have to dig out blackberries and things like that out of my backyard, which were really bad a couple years ago, and now we're getting things dialed back in. I'll show you what I got going on. Like I said, we're kind of starting from scratch here, so don't laugh too hard. This is my current compost setup. These two beds were here when we moved in. It looks a little rough right now because they dug a sewer pipe up here and kind of trashed everything a while ago, and I haven't really done much to recover this since then. And since we live so close to a farmer's market, I've let things go a bit, as you can see. So I've just been doing lazy composting here, where I put garden waste. These are apples from the tree that you're looking at here, or apple tree in the backyard, and I just stack things on top of each other, turn it over once in a while. Compost happens eventually. You can do things to expedite the process quite a bit, but even if you just do it lazily, it'll still get done, and that's what I've been doing. Here's our official compost bin. I added some pumpkins to that recently, and they're still right there, starting to break down, and some apples and other things like that. So these two beds are going to be two of my big garden beds. I've got a pad over here that I want to build a greenhouse on this year, and this is a section of the yard that got dug up for our sewer line a couple years ago, and so this is going to be another bed or two. And then over here I have just kind of a perimeter of our small yard that I'm going to turn into one big bed, and this is the grassy area that I want to turn into a garden area as well. We lost a maple this year. It was a beautiful tree, but it died and it started to come down, so before it could take out a fence or a roof or anything, we took it out, but we left it tall so we can have a little table for garden parties and what have you. This was a big section of blackberries that I took out and just pulled and dug them out. It's a lot of work, but once it's done and you stay on top of it, it'll stay done. Here's a section of yard. This is this is our apple tree right here, and back here is a beautiful dogwood. The flowers lovely. This is a super nice area in the summer, but we're gonna make it even nicer and more inviting and more garden friendly. This is some of our current recycling and just garbage and recycling that I have to go through. It's a bit of a mess out here now, but I thought this was a good place to start because I'm going to start basically from scratch, and we're going to see how nice and good we can make it. So what I'd love on this thread for everyone to do is share their compost stories, share their compost techniques, send photos. We'll try to light this thread up with as much compost information as we can, and that even if you're not from McMinnville, please share. I know there's people in the desert that are following this group, and as well as people in the far north, so we can all learn from each other, and we have a lot to teach each other. And I know from past experience, composting is one of the easiest way to add to soil fertility and to increase just life in general in your yard. And here in Oregon, life's pretty prolific, and even on this pad you can see the moss taking over everywhere. If you just leave things alone, they tend to recover nicely a lot of times. but we're going to see if we can help things flourish out here. So thank you for your time today, and I'm looking forward to seeing what everybody offers as far as compost information. Thanks again. Over and out. Have a good one.